Yo, what's up? It's Black Moon, back with another tutorial video. This one is a quick track that I did that my buddy Ultra recommended some track that we should all sample, so I got at it. It's a pretty chill tone, pretty upbeat, more upbeat than what I usually work with, but I like it. So right at the beginning, I have this, I believe it to be a guitar that I split off of it, but I've got, the obligatory lo-fi setting for EQing, really. Just cut out a lot of the highs and the lows, and then that was to split that from the bass, because that's going to come in later. I've got isotope vinyl. This time I did barely anything to it. It was mostly just to take away some presence, and then of course set it to mono, because, again, the whole lo-fi thing. I just didn't do any side chaining this time around. But, tiny bit of reverb, not a lot, really. At least I don't think it's a lot. It doesn't change much if you, like, isolate and then play it. And this is how it would sound without any automation. But, I mean, you see it doesn't really do too much to it, really. And then, of course, that glitch that I got going on is this one. Deep blue glitch. I have a tape stop going into a retrigger. And this is, what is that, third bar? Well, no. If you see it go through. Yeah, right on the third bar. And then it hits the retrigger, and then on the last bar it'll hit the retrigger again. And then for that intro, I also have that with my low pass filter that I have going with the master. And that's also automated. The automation for that is right here, so I have like this little movement of going in and out of basically just muffling the sample. And then with that, like, you don't hear that glitch ever again in the track, because, I mean, it's really, I thought it was cool, but it's the type of thing that could easily be, just annoying, really. Like, you don't want that everywhere, so it's all I just put at the beginning. But, then after that, you have this. And that's the bass line that I split. You got that, and I have other stuff on this track too. But with how I had to EQ it to pull it out, I lost a lot of presence with that, and that's something you should also keep in mind, because I have this low pass filter, but I also have one right here. But see, so that's what it's got going on right now. And so there's still some mid-range getting in, like low mids, but it's not a lot. So then what I did was I stacked another one on it, and this one was a little different just to catch whatever I was missing beforehand. And then I have a bass boost on it, but I disable it because it's kind of too much, I feel, and getting it into the proper range without it muddying up is kind of hard sometimes, but I'll try it out with this one. It might work out this time, but well, yeah, so with that, you just kind of go in here, pick a frequency and an amount, and then usually what I like to do is double check it with one of these, and then see where I'm at. And then also you have to check clipping. So if I have the rest of the track going, let's say I want to boost with that, like, I didn't even really have to sidechain this time around, because if I were to, then I'd lose even more presence during the beginning. So, I mean, unless you do with like a really sharp attack, but then it's, I don't know, I don't really like that effect that much. But it doesn't conflict with the kicks all that much. The kicks kind of sit like perfectly on top, so it doesn't really have to push through anything. It's almost as if it just propels the low end pretty nicely. And then get through that. We have just another little drum section right here. And then with that, I have both the hi-hats on one over here, and it's just gross beat. Like, it's just a little sequence on there for the hi-hats on 7, and then I've got the automation for it, like right in here. So it'll go and stop, and then wait a minute. No, this one is for the guitar. My bad. This one is for the hi-hats. That's another thing with FL. You have to, like, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you should start labeling stuff. I don't label because, genuinely speaking, I am the only person working on some of these tracks, so I don't really have to label each every individual one, because I just, sometimes, once I'm working with it for a few hours, I know what's what and where it goes where, and then I'll do some, like, organizing, so I'll just put the effect over it, like over whatever instrument's being affected, so then you can like check it out. But that's like a final stage, is when I don't want to mess with anything else. And then of course you could just like cut the automation clip, like here, and then here, and I'll cut that one out. But then you can just do that, and then it just saves you space, and you're able to see like your effect as it goes over whatever instrument you're doing, which is, it's just another like space keeping type of thing. Not a bad idea. It's something I would recommend people do, because it is pretty useful. I personally don't use it often, but I'm used to being unorganized, so that's something I'm trying to work on. And organization skills are pretty important with stuff like this. You don't want to spend 3 hours searching for a sample that you're in the wrong folder entirely. Like, you don't want to do that. But so I've got that automation set up. I'm not going to clip the rest because it's not what this video is about. But then you see it. And then we've got a little bit gross beat on the guitar too. And isolated, that sounds like. I gotta disable this. But that's all I got going on for that, and then that just goes into some bass right here. And then like obligatory outro section. And then another thing with hi-hats is that they tend to drone on if you just get stuck in like a groove. And other instruments are cool for that, but for some reason hi-hats just get annoying. I think it's because it's like further in your face. And then with that, like, all I have left is just this automation right here for the master volume, and that's it. I mean, this is a synth that was originally near the beginning of the track, and I just split that out early because it was isolated and alone. I didn't have to worry about moving any frequencies away from what I'm trying to grab, really. But of course, like on that, that's still the same effects that's on the guitar. All of it the same. And since it's got the automation on it, I don't have to worry about disabling this glitch in the end, because due to automation, it's already disabled like all the way up here. So that's another reason why I like automating things versus I mean, I used to do this thing on Mixcraft where I would have multiple instances of the same track, and then each one would have like its own effects. And it's just so much easier to automate things because then you know it's turning on and off at gradual paces, and you're able to really get in there and decide timing for things. Like if you decided to have an off timing for whatever effect, like reverb or one of the glitches that you wanted to try out, or really anything. 'Cause you can even automate the tempo, which is wild, but you can do that if you really want to. But yeah, just stay organized. That's something I gotta do now. Alright, thanks for watching.